You could like draw a picture of it.
I did. I saw that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to keep you over here. I'm trying to make everyone safe. We have
Good evening! I presume you all know why you're here. Now, could you help with a bit of the setup? Summer!
What, Cassidy? We started the show already.
Right, I know. This has just been bugging me for a while now. If we're performing a play, why are we starting it all off with a video? We're mixing genres.
I don't know, but we teched this. You had plenty of time to ask questions.
No, I know. I just don't want to confuse the audience, though. We have created a parody of the movie Clue, right? Which itself is based on a board game, and we're exaggerating the style and inserting anachronisms, but we're starting it all off with a video, but then we're never getting back to that. This just pops in and out with no purpose. Are we doing too much?
I don't know, maybe, but we've been rehearsing for weeks, and we don't have time to change things.
Okay, that's fine. But while I'm here, do you mind if I just... Hi! Hello, everybody! Welcome to Classic Mystery Game. We have created this play for you, St. Louis theater goers. It's a parody of the classic 1985 movie Clue. We're using that movie as a lens to observe and investigate today's society. Just like that movie used McCarthyism, right? As a lens to observe and investigate.
Cassidy! What the hell are you doing?
I'm talking to the audience, Bess, or as we in the biz like to call, direct address. Now, you all get to see this play tonight instead of staying at home, popping some popcorn, and watching the DVD version of Clue.
Who watches DVDs anymore?
Instead of staying at home, popping some popcorn, and renting it on Amazon. Thank you. One-time St. Louis Theater Circle Award winner Will Bonfiglio, everybody. Now, I'd like to walk you over a 13-point presentation on what the movie Clue and specifically parody.
I have TV to post about. It's all I have.
But he has a
We don't have time for any of this.
No claims there's more than 90 minutes of my life. We haven't rehearsed any of this.
Good evening. I presume you all know why you're here. Now, could you help with a bit of the setup? When I pinch you, please point to the card of your choice. Do not touch the bloody card. Just point to it. First, we must select the murderer. You, sir, point to the card of your choice. Do not touch it. Fine. Now, the murder weapon. Who wants a card? Who wants a card? Anybody want a card? Who wants a card? Who wants a card? Anybody want a card? What do you want to do? Madam, would you like to don't touch. This one's sticking out right here. Keating. And now, for the location of the murder. Sir. Don't listen to the woman. Now, into the envelope we go. Now, let's play the game. Is everything ready?
Oui, monsieur.
You have your instructions.
Oui, monsieur.
Cook, will dinner be ready at 8:30?
Dinner will be ready at 8:30.
Good evening, sir. Okay, so you are expected Cardinal Mustard. It is Cardinal Mustard, correct?
No, that's not my name. My name is Carl.
Forgive me, sir. But tonight you may well feel obliged to my employer for the use of an alias.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Wadsworth, sir, the butler. Yvette, will you please tend to the Colonel and give him anything he requires? Within reason, that is.
Oh, Wadsworth.
Don't come in, Master. Yes, you are expected.
Do you know who I am?
Only that you to be known as Mrs. White.
Yes, the letter said so, but...
Mr. Mrs. White, this is Yvette, the maid. I see you two know each other.
Hello.
Hello. I brought popsicles!
Thank you, Mrs. Peacock. And this is Mrs. Peacock.
How do you do?
Hello.
Yvette, will you please go to the kitchen, make sure that dinner will be ready when all the guests have arrived. And Yvette, please put these in the freezer.
Is this the right address to meet Mr. Body?
Oh, you must be Mr. Green.
Yes.
Sit! No, not you, sir.
The entrances were just taking too long, so we...
Maggie, I'm so sorry. And may I present Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum? Of course, since each of you has been addressed by a pseudonym, you'll have realized by now that nobody here has been addressed by their real name.
You got me all wet!
Sorry, I'm a little accident prone.
You'll find your names beside your places. Please, be seated.
I'm right here.
So, this place must be for you?
No, sir. I'm merely a humble butler.
And what exactly do you do?
I buttle, sir.
Which means what?
The butler tends to the kitchen and the dining room. I like to keep everything tidy. That's all.
So what's this all about, Butler, the dinner party?
Ours is not to reason why. Ours is but to do and die.
Die?
Merely quoting, sir. Alfred? Lord Tennyson?
I prefer Kipling myself. The female species is more deadlier than the male. You like Kipling, Miss Scarlet?
Sure, I'll eat anything. Shark's fin soup, madame.
So this place must be for you.
No, for the seventh guest, Mr. Body.
I thought Mr. Body was our host. Who is our host, Mr. Wadsworth?
Oh.
Well, I want to get started while it's still hot.
Oh, now shouldn't we wait for the other guests? I'm going to keep something warm for him. What'd you have in mind, dear? Might as well be me. I mean, I'm used to being a hostess as part of my husband's work, and it's always difficult when a group of new friends meet together for the first time to get acquainted, so I'm perfectly prepared to start the ball rolling. I mean, I have absolutely no idea what we're doing here, what I'm doing here, what this place is about, but I am determined to enjoy myself, and I am very intrigued, and oh my, this soup's delicious, isn't it? You say you're used to being a hostess as part of your husband's work? Yes, it's an integral part of your life when you're the wife of a... Oh, but then I forgot we're not supposed to say who we really are, though. Heavens to Betsy, I don't know why.
Don't you?
I know who you are.
Aren't you gonna tell us? How do you know who I am?
I work in the county, too.
So you're a politician's wife?
Yes, I am.
Well, come on then. Who's your husband?
What does your husband do, Lies around on his back all day. Sounds like hard work to me. Oh, God, no, I'm all wet.
Oh, sorry, I'm a little accident prone.
Hey, watch it. This is one of my favorite recipes.
Oh, I know, madam.
So what do you do in the county, Mr. Green? Come on, what do you do? How are we to get acquainted if we don't say anything?
Perhaps he doesn't want to get acquainted with you.
Well, I'm sure I don't know. But if I wasn't keeping the conversation going, then we'd just be sitting here in embarrassed silence.
Are you afraid of silence, Mrs. Peacock?
Yes, what? No, why?
It just seems to me that you suffer from what we call pressure of speech.
We? Who's we? Are you a shrink?
I do know a little bit about psychological medicine, yes.
Are you a doctor?
I am, but I don't practice.
Practice makes perfect. I think most men need a little bit of practice. Don't you think so, Mrs. Peacock?
So what do you do, Professor?
Well, I still work in the medical field. I work for a health insurance corporation in Clayton. What about you, Colonel? Are you a real colonel?
I am.
You're not also going to mention the coincidence that you two live in the county?
How did you know that? Have we met before?
I've certainly seen you before, although you may not have seen me.
So, Miss Scarlett, does this mean that you live in the county too?
Sure do.
Does anyone here not live in the county?
I don't. I live in the Central West End.
Yes, but you work in the county, and the rest of us all live in the county. Does anyone here not earn their living from St. Louis County in one way or another?
Wadsworth, where is our host and why have we been brought to this house?
Good evening, sir. You are eagerly awaited.
You're locking me in, I'll take the key.
Over my dead body. Hey, no bad.
No, I'll keep it with me till I need it.
It contains evidence, I presume.
Surprises, my friend. That's what it contains. Surprises.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Mr. Body.
What are they doing here?
Eating dinner? Do sit down, Mr. Body.
Thanks.
Stay. No! You can take that away, honey.
Now,
I demand to know what's going on here. Now, why have we all been dragged up to this horrible place?
well, I believe you all received a letter. My letter says, it will be to your advantage to be present on this evening, as the Mr. Body will bring to an end a certain long-standing financial liability. It is signed a friend.
I received a similar letter.
So did we.
I also received a letter. No thanks, Yvette. I just ate.
Wait, now how did you know her name?
We know each other. Don't we, dear?
Forgive my curiosity, Mr. Body, but did your letter say the same thing?
No.
I see. Well, can I interest anybody in some fruit or a popsicle? Well, may I suggest that we adjourn to the study, where I believe our unknown host will reveal his intentions to us.
Well, there's no one here.
Please sit down! Gentlemen, I am instructed to explain what you all have in common with each other, unless you care to do the honors, Mr. Body.
Why? They know who I am?
I don't think so. You've never identified yourself for them.
It's a hoax! I suggest we all leave.
I'm sorry, sir, but you cannot leave this house.
No! Who's going to stop me?
There's no way out. All the doors are locked and the windows have bars.
What? This is an outrage! You can't keep us prisoner!
Explain shortly. He's got it in the conservatory! Whoa!
You see, what I always liked about this game is I didn't realize there was a room called a conservatory ever. Like, who knew that was?
Ladies and gentlemen, the one thing that you all have in common is that you're all being blackmailed! For some considerable time now, you've all been paying what you can afford, and in some cases what you cannot afford, to summon friends to expose you, and none of you know who's blackmailing you, do you?
Oh, please, I've never heard anything so ridiculous. Nobody could blackmail me. My life is an open book. I've never done anything wrong.
Anybody else wish to deny it? Very well. Well, seeing as how we're all in the same boat, there's no harm in revealing some of the details, and the instructions say to do so.
Oh, don't you think you might spare us the humiliation?
I'm sorry. Professor Plum, you were once a professor of psychiatry, specializing in helping paranoid and homicidal lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for a health insurance company.
So your work has not changed, but you do not practice medicine. In fact, your license to practice medicine has been lifted, correct?
Why? What did he do?
Do you know what doctors aren't allowed to do with their lady patients?
Yeah.
Well, he did.
Oh, how disgusting.
Are you making moral judgments, Mrs. Peacock? How then do you justify taking bribes in exchange for your husband, Missouri State Senator Peacock's vote to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There is nothing wrong with that.
Not if it is publicly declared, but if payment is delivered by slipping used greenbacks in plain envelopes underneath the door of the men's room, how would you describe that transaction?
I'd say it stinks. Oh, how would you know? When were you ever in that men's room?
So it's true!
No, it's a vicious lie!
Well, I'm sure we're all glad to hear that. We all did overwhelmingly vote for the Clean Missouri Amendment, but you've been paying blackmail ever since it passed to keep that story out of the papers.
Well, I am willing to believe you. I too am being blackmailed for something I didn't do.
Me too.
And me.
Not me.
You're not being blackmailed.
Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right, but I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
What did you do?
Well, to be perfectly frank, I run a specialized hotel and telephone service that provides gentlemen with the company of a young lady for a short while.
Oh yeah, what's the phone number for that?
So how did you know Colonel Mustard works in the county? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
No, I was asking Miss Scarlett.
Well, you tell him it's not true.
No, that's not true.
Is that true?
No, that's not true.
So it is true.
A double negative then.
Double negatives? You mean you have photographs?
Oh, that sounds like a confession to me. In fact, a double negative is such a proof positive. I'm afraid you've given yourself away, sir.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
Are you going help from me?
That's right! Tenure!
But really, I don't see what's so bad about Colonel Mustard visiting a house of ill fame. I mean, most locals do, don't
But he holds a sensitive security post. And Colonel, you drive a very expensive car for a man who lives on a colonel's pay.
I don't. I came into money during the war when I lost my dear mommy and daddy.
Mrs. White, you've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died, under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Why is that funny?
Well, I get it now. That's why he's lying on his back. In his coffin.
I didn't kill him.
Then why are you paying the blackmailer?
I didn't want a scandal, did I? We had a humiliating public confrontation. He was deranged, a lunatic. I don't think he liked me very much. He threatened to kill me in public.
Why would anyone want to kill you in public?
Oh, I think she meant he threatened, comma, in public, comma, to kill her.
Oh. And that was his final word on the matter?
Being killed is pretty final, wouldn't you say?
But he was the one who died, not you, Mrs. White, not you.
What did he do for a living?
He was a scientist. Climate change. He worked for the EPA.
What was he like?
He was a rather stupidly optimistic man. I'm afraid it came as quite a shock to him when he died. He was found at home. His head had been cut off, and so it is, you know. I was out at the movies all evening.
Do you miss him?
Well, it's a question of life after death. Now that he's dead, I have a life.
But he was your second husband, Mrs. White. Your first husband also disappeared.
Oh yes, but that was his job. He was an illusionist.
But he never reappeared.
He wasn't a very good illusionist.
I have something to say. I'm not going to wait for Wadsworth here to unmask me. I work for the government, and I am a homosexual.
Oh,
I feel no personal guilt or shame about this, but I must keep it a secret or I will lose my job on security grounds. Thank you.
So, that just leaves Mr. Body.
what's your little secret?
Oh, him. Hadn't you guessed? He's the one blackmailing you all!
You bastard!
Gentlemen, don't be civil. Don't be civil.
Put him up! It's not that easy. You'll never tell the police.
Then I shall. This conversation is being tape recorded.
Tape recordings are not admissible evidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, the police will be in about 45 minutes or so, depending upon how long intermission takes. Once they get here, tell them everything and Mr. Body will be behind bars.
I think I can help them make up their minds. Who can guess what's in here, eh?
The evidence against us, no doubt.
You didn't know we were meeting you tonight? Did you know that?
Just give me 1 second, guys.
Press it down.
You did this a lot.
Reggie, press down.
Before we went on.
Yeah.
Down to the right.
Okay,
everyone stop yelling at me all at once. Maybe I can figure this out.
Yeah, like you're like so
that long, guys.
then like push
We didn't know we were meeting you tonight. Did you know you were meeting us?
Oh, yes.
What were you told precisely?
Merely that you would all be getting together to discuss our little financial arrangements. And if I did not appear, Wadsworth would be informing the police about it all. Naturally, I could hardly resist putting in an appearance. Open up.
Why not? I enjoy getting presents from strange men. A candlestick? What's this for?
In your hands, you each have a lethal weapon. If you rat me out to the police, you will also be exposed and humiliated. I'll see to that in court. But if one of you kills Wadsworth now, no one but the 7 of us will ever know. He has the key to the front door, which he said would only be opened over his dead body. I suggest we take him up on that offer. The only way to avoid finding yourselves on the front pages is for 1 of you to kill Wadsworth now!
It's not possible. Stand back, give him here. Let me see. He's dead.
Who had the gun?
I did.
You shot him!
I didn't!
Well, you had the gun and you didn't shoot him. Who did?
Nobody! Look, there's no gun wound. I mean, look, someone grabbed the gun from me in the dark, and the gun went off. Look! The ball! The ball!
He's absolutely right! Look, there's a hole in the wall right there! Look!
Then how did he die?
I don't know, there's no blunt force trauma, no stab wound. I mean, maybe somebody took the lead pipe and stuck it in his mouth and slowly poisoned him to death. I'm not a forensic expert, I don't know.
Well, one of us must have killed him.
Well, I didn't do it.
Oh, I didn't drink.
Maybe the drink was poisoned.
I had to stop her from screaming.
Was the drink poisoned?
I don't know.
Looks like we'll never know. It's just a piece of wood.
Unless she dies too.
It must be the murderer.
Why would the murderer scream?
They must have a victim in there with them. Oh my God, a vet!
Oh my God!
Said that.
I was listening. But why were you in here screaming all by yourself?
Because I am frightened. And me too, I also drink the cognac. Oh mon Dieu, I cannot stay here by myself.
Oh, come back to the study with us.
What's the matter?
There is safety in numbers! My dear.
Is there no indication of how he died?
Oh my God, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. This is not what I intended. Oh my God.
Not what you intended. So you're not the butler?
I'm not the butler, but I am a butler. In fact, I was his butler. If he had to invite us all to his house, why did he arrive late? I invited you. I wrote the letters. It was all my idea.
Wait a minute, I don't understand. Why would you invite us here to meet your late employer? Were you assisting him to blackmail us?
Certainly not.
I think you better explain.
But everyone, please, sit down.
Oh, okay.
I'm right here.
When I said that I was Mr. Bonnie's butler, this was both true and yet misleading. But it was not his untimely death this evening that brought my employment with him to an end.
When did it come to an end?
When my wife decided to end her life. You see, she too is being blackmailed by this odious man who now lays dead before us. He hated her for the same reasons he hated all of you. He thought all of you were thoroughly un-American. He thought it was Sorry. He thought it was inappropriate for a senator to have a corrupt wife, for a doctor to take advantage of his patients, for a wife to emasculate her husband, and so on and so forth.
Oh, but this is ridiculous. If he was such a patriotic American, why didn't he just report us to the
He
authorities?
thought he would take his information and put it to good use and make a little money out of it. What could be more American than that?
And what was your role in all this?
I was a victim too, or at least my wife was. She had friends who were democratic socialists. Oh, we all make mistakes, but Mr. Body threatened to give my wife's name to Trump's Religious Liberty Task Force unless she named them. She refused, and so he blackmailed us. It was awful. The price of his silence was that we worked for him for nothing. We had no money. It was terrible. Anyway, to make a long story short,
Too late.
the suicide of my wife preyed on my mind and created a sense of injustice in me. I resolved to put Mr. Body behind bars, and it seemed the best way to do it, and relieve all of us of the same burden of blackmail, was to get everybody together, confront Mr. Body with his crimes, and then turn him over to the police.
So everything is explained.
Nothing is explained. We still don't know who murdered him.
We've got to find out who murdered him in the next 42 minutes or so, depending upon if the audience keeps laughing at this rate, before the police arrive.
My God! We can't have them come here now.
But how else will we know which of you did it?
What do you mean which one of you did it?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, one of us did it. We all had a motive, and we all had an opportunity.
Oh, great! We'll all get the death penalty.
Well, maybe it wasn't one of us. Well, who else could it have been? Who else is in the house?
Only the cook. The cook!
Well, she's not here. Who wants a popsicle? I don't know. Oh, I can do it. Somebody help me, please. Somebody help me, please.
Who will touch that knife? That's evidence.
Not for us. We have to find out who did it. We can't take fingerprints.
Wadsworth, you've got some explaining to do.
Me? Why me?
We want to kill the cook.
Dinner wasn't that bad.
You make a joke at a time like this.
It's my defense mechanism.
Oh, some defense. If I was the killer, I'd kill you next.
Oh?
If I said if. Hey now, come on. There's only one admitted killer here, and it's not me. It's her.
I've admitted nothing.
Then why are you paying the blackmailer? How many husbands have you had?
Mine or other women?
Yours.
5.
Fine.
Yes, just a 5. Husbands should be like Kleenex. Soft, strong, and disposable.
You lure men to their deaths like spiders with flies.
Yes, but flies are where men are most vulnerable.
That's right. Look, if it wasn't you, then who was it anyway? Who had the dagger? It was you, Mrs. Peacock, wasn't it?
Yes, but I put it down.
Where?
In the study.
When?
I don't know. Before I made it, after I made it, I don't know. But I knew you could have picked it up.
Look! I suggested put the cook's body into the study.
Why?
I'm the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
Oh, God.
Bring him on. Send him in. His house. Look! What? The body's gone.
What are you all staring at?
Nothing.
Well, who's there?
Nobody.
Nobody. That's what he means. Mr. Body's body. It's gone.
Oh, maybe he wasn't dead.
He was.
We should have made sure. How? By cutting his head off, I suppose.
What was it called for?
Where is he?
We better look for him.
Well, he must not have been dead.
He was. At least I thought he was. But what difference does it make now?
Well, it makes quite a difference to him. Maybe there is life after death.
Life after death is as improbable as sex after marriage.
Maybe Mr. Body killed the cook.
Yes.
How?
If you'll just excuse me. Is there a little girl's room? Oh, oui, madame. Oh, no. I just have to powder my nose.
Well, he's dead now.
Mr. Body dead again.
Oh, my God.
Oh, she's going to faint. Somebody catch her. I'll get you. I'll fall into my arms. No. Sorry.
You have blood on your hands.
Why did it do it?
He's got new injuries. Oh, well, he's officially dead now. Why would anybody want to kill him twice?
It just seems so unnecessary.
It's what I like to call overkill.
It's what I like to call psychotic.
Unless he wasn't dead before.
He was, but whether it doesn't make. That's what we're trying to find out, though. Who killed him, and where, and with what?
There's no need to shout.
I'm not shouting! Fine, I'm shouting! I'm shouting and shouting and shouting! Who killed him? And where? And with what?
What?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Mr. Body, he wasn't actually dead. He was playing dead.
Why?
Why, indeed?
Well, let's move the bodies.
Kevin, don't get blood on the sofa.
Ladies first.
Stick it down for a two. Stick it.
Count three. 1, 2, 3. Seven.
How do we do this navigator into her back?
Lay her over the arm. Now, Mr. Body. Would you hurry up? Great. Alright, sit up. Alright, and 1, 2, 3. Reggie really eating these peanut butter sandwiches. Oh, God. Okay, now, who had access to the candlestick?
It was given to you.
Well, yes, but I dropped it on the chair. Anybody could have picked it up, you or her.
Excuse me, darling.
What's this, Wadsworth?
Oh, I'm afraid these are the photo negatives to which Colonel Mustard earlier referred.
Oh, my God.
You plan on blackmailing him, Wadsworth?
Certainly not.
Oh, very pretty. Would you like to see these and that? They might shock you.
No, merci, I'm a lady.
Oh yeah? Do you know what kind of pictures they are if you're such a lady?
What kind of pictures are there?
Look, they are my photographs and I'd like them back. Please.
No, I'm afraid there's something in them that concerns me too.
Wadsworth, how did you know where to find them?
I was looking in the vault.
Is it the police?
No, it's too early. Intermission hasn't even happened yet.
Maybe they're early.
Somebody should answer the door.
Fine! And let's all move together, shall we? I want to keep an eye on all of you. Good evening, sir. Oh, can I, or rather, can we help you?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb the whole household. My car broke down and I was wondering if I might use your phone.
Oh, just a moment. No. Very well. Would you care to come in?
Well, where is it?
What, the body?
The phone? What body?
No body. There's no body. There's no body in the stabbing. But I do believe there's a phone in the lounge. Thank you. After you finish your call, would you be so kind as to wait right here?
Certainly.
Where's the key? It's in my pocket. Not that key, the key to the front door.
Let me out of here.
No!
Why not?
We've got to find out who did this. We're all in this together now.
If you leave, I'll say that you killed them both.
Yeah.
Wadsworth, if you won't stop this, I'll make you sorry you ever started it one day when we're alone together.
Mrs. White, no man in his right mind would ever be alone in the same room with you.
Well, I could use a drink.
Me too.
Yup, 2 bodies. Everything's fine. Anybody else want a whiskey?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Pay attention. Wadsworth, what is that thing?
Oh, it's a board game.
A what?
A board game. Like for children.
Adults play board games too.
Ooh, what was that game you played as a kid? And there was like the murderer and the head murderer and all the other murderers.
Mafia?
Mafia!
I left it
version because I don't remember it lasting this long.
What's this game got to do with us?
This game belonged to Mr. Body. I saw him scrutinizing over it every night. In fact, the very layout of this board matches the very layout of this house. I assumed it had something to do with his blackmail scheme, and I thought I'd got all of us here together. We could confront Mr. Body and force him to tell us what it's about. Actually, the pseudonyms I've given you all are characters from this very game.
How did you know which ones to give us?
Frankly, I guessed. I thought the Colonel and the Professor were going to be women. I think the key to finding the evidence against us lies in this very game.
But we already have the evidence. My negatives are right here.
We found yours, yes, but the evidence against the rest of us remains hidden. I took the first turn, which revealed the photo negatives, but the instructions clearly say it's a multiplayer game. Perhaps each night Mr. Body was leaving evidence and hiding the clues in case anything ever happened to him.
That must be why he played dead! To destroy this game when we weren't looking!
Precisely!
But then one of you murdered him.
Are you accusing me?
No, I'm suggesting it was you.
Accusation versus suggestion.
It's a
Wadsworth, am I right in thinking that there is nobody else in this house?
No.
So there is someone else?
No, sorry, I meant no meaning yes.
No meaning yes? Look, just give me a straight answer. Is there someone else or isn't there? Yes or no?
No.
No, there is or no, there isn't?
Yes.
Please! Don't you think we should get the motorist out of the house before he finds out what's going on?
Yeah!
How can we kick him outside in this weather?
Well, if we let him stay inside, he might get a little suspicious.
If we kick him out, he may get even more suspicious.
If I were him, I'd be suspicious already.
Who cares? That guy doesn't matter. Let him stay locked up for another 40 minutes, or however long this play is. The police will be here by then, and there are 2 dead bodies on the sofa!
Well, there's still some confusion as to whether or not there's anybody else in this house.
I told you there isn't.
There isn't any confusion, or there isn't anybody else.
Either or both.
Look, just give me a clear answer.
Certainly. What was the question,
Is there anybody else in this house?
No!
That's what he says. But what does he know? I suggest we handle this in proper military fashion. We'll split up and search the house.
Split up?
Yes, we don't have much time left. We'll split up into pairs.
Pairs?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Suppose that one of us is the killer. Whoever is left with the killer might get killed. That's like a bad strategy to stay alive.
But then we would have discovered who the murderer is.
But the other half of the pair would be dead!
This is war, peacock! Casualties are inevitable. You can't bake a cake without breaking eggs. Any cook will tell you that.
Well, look what happened to the cook!
Colonel, are you willing to take that chance?
What choice have we?
None!
Yeah, you're right.
Well, what about the evidence in the game?
Oh, I believe that we can simultaneously search this house as we play the game and find the evidence against us.
How?
There are clues in each of the rooms of the house.
Oh, the game gives us clues!
The game is a clue! Oh, the game gives us several clues. Listen, Mr. Body gave each of you a deadly weapon.
I bet he regrets that now.
Each of those deadly weapons is represented here on the board. One in each room. And in each physical room, a photograph of one of you is used to mark where the evidence is hidden. You see here, a photograph of Colonel Mustard holding the wrench. This photograph was taken in this very room.
It's Colonel Mustard with the wrench in the stomach!
Precisely.
I've never seen that wrench or been in this house a day in my life.
It's clearly a promo shot for the play.
But what about the photograph? It's a clue.
Yes, Colonel Mustard holding the wrench was on this envelope just beneath that chair.
So if we play the game, we'll find the evidence against us.
And search for the murderer at the same time.
Follow the car. But it is dark in the house and I am frightened of the dark. Will anyone go with me?
I will.
No, thank you.
I suggest that we roll the die for partners. Ready? The first 2 people with matching rolls are together, and then the next 2 people with matching rolls are together. Agreed? Agreed.
Lunge forward. Reggie is acting for his life.
Agreed.
wrote a 5.
Conroy.
I wrote a 5.
Miss Scarlet, would you care to roll upstage?
I also rolled a 5.
Miss Scarlet and Colonel Mustard, you are partners. Mrs. Green.
I rolled a 1.
Yvette. Yvette and Mr. Green, you are partners. Professor Plum.
Oh, big money.
I roll a 6.
Oh, that doesn't mean anything here. We're just rolling for partners.
It means something in the actual game.
I rolled a 4. 6.
It's you and me, honey bunch.
Oh my god.
Mrs. White, that is myself to be your partner. Right, does everyone remember what weapon they were given?
Oh, I have the candlestick.
The candlestick is pictured in the conservatory. Right, Miss Scarlet and Colonel Mustard, go to the conservatory and search for the photograph of Miss Scarlet. That should lead you to your evidence. And once you find evidence, you come back to the study with all of us.
Yep.
And if you find the murderer, apprehend them and do be careful. I had the lead pipe. Oh, the lead pipe is pictured in the ballroom.
Oh, I had the dagger.
The dagger is pictured in the billiard room. Right, now, Mrs. Peacock.
Plum.
Yeah.
Mrs. Plum. Peacock. Sorry, I can't see colors.
You live in St. Louis, you definitely see color.
Professor Plum, would you be so kind as to accompany Mrs. Peacock, and then when we've all reassembled, Professor, it'll be your turn.
I had the rope.
That means we're to search the dining room.
Do you want to go in front of me?
Absolutely not.
I'm sure there's no one in there.
I think you go in front.
All right.
Well, ladies first.
Oh no, you go first.
No, I insist.
No.
What are you afraid of? A fate worse than death?
No, just death. Isn't that enough?
Are you going in there?
Yes, are you?
Yes.
Right.
Ladies first.
No thanks.
Go on. I'll be right behind you.
That's why I'm nervous.
Then we go together.
If anybody's in there, just look out!
Are you hiding? I'm coming.
I'm a little nervous. I'm in this big house and I've been locked into the lounge. Yeah. The strange thing is, there's this big group of people here having some sort of party, and one of them is my old boss from...
Looks like a secret passage.
Should we see where it leads?
All right then, I'll go first. I've lived a good life.
Oh. Oh my God!
getting more scared.
But look!
Which one of you did it? We found him together.
How did you get in?
The door was locked.
It's a good trick.
Now there's a secret passageway from the conservatory.
Was that the gun from Mr. Body?
Maybe they'll just go away.
I'm going to open it. Because I didn't do it. I have nothing to hide. The key.
Good evening. I found an abandoned car down by the gates of his house. The driver didn't come here looking for any help by any chance.
Well, actually, yes.
Seems to be some kind of disagreement.
Yes.
Can I use your phone?
Of course you may, sir. You could use the phone in the, you could use the phone in the, definitely not that one. Would you be so kind as to wait in the library? Yes.
Hey, do I know you from somewhere? You folks seem to be very anxious about something.
It's a play! The stakes are high! Do come this way, please, sir! Please, help yourself to a drink if you'd like. Just have the cognac, just in case!
Just in case of what?
Now what?
We should have told him.
Oh, very well for you to say that now.
I said it then.
Shut up! Let's come up with a plan!
Hello?
Maybe the cop answered it?
And who should I say is calling? All right. Hang on a minute. Hey! Let me out of here. Let me out of here. You've got no right to lock me up. I'll book you for false arrest and wrongful imprisonment and obstructing an officer in the course of duty and murder.
What do you mean? Murder?
I just said it so you'd open the door.
What's going on around here? Why would you lock me in? And why are you getting calls from the DOJ?
The DOJ?
That's right, the Department of Justice.
Why is the government on your phone?
I don't know. They're on everybody else's. Why shouldn't they be on mine?
Excuse me.
What is going on around here? We're just having a little party. Mind if I take a look around?
Oh, sure. Oh, you can show him around this room.
Me?
Yeah, sure. Well, you can show him the kitchen and the dining room and the ballroom.
Fine. Officer, just this way. I'm going to show you the kitchen or the
Dining room?
dining room or the ballroom.
Make it look convincing.
Oh my God.
Come on.
I got it. So, this is the dining room.
Okay. And one of those
Which 2 rooms?
Those 2 rooms.
Those 2 rooms.
Yeah.
Oh, officer, I don't think you should go in there.
And why not?
It's just all too shocking.
Not all that shocking. He's hooped in his hair a good time.
Oh my God.
I can promise you that.
Yeah, we'll get him a lift. We'll get him an Uber. Lift is cheaper.
Officer!
You're too late. I've seen everything.
You have? I can explain.
You don't have to.
I don't.
No, none of this is illegal.
Are you sure?
Of course, this is America.
I see.
It's a free country, did you know that?
I didn't know it was that free.
All right, let me use your phone now.
Certainly.
Why did you lock him in again?
We have not finished searching the house. Did anyone find their evidence?
No! We better hurry, only 15 minutes until the police come!
The police already came.
Shut up! Let's get on with it.
Professor Plum, are we going back to the billiard room?
No!
Why ever not?
Don't you get it? It's clear! We're in clear! Come on!
Yellow?
I'm here. Did anyone recognize you?
They must have. Not just my face. They know every inch of my body. And they're not the only ones.
It's you! There's something funny going on around here. I don't know what it is. No, I'm not on duty. I'm feeling I'm in danger. You know what a chapel? That place where they do all those weird experimental plays? Hello? Hello? You're singing telegram.
Everybody out into the hall! It was just the master switch!
Should keep looking.
Two murders!
Neither of them shot. I thought I heard a gun.
I did. So did I. I thought I heard the front door slam.
Maybe the murderer ran out.
Three murders!
That's 6 altogether.
This is getting serious. The gun, they dropped it here, but now it's gone. Very well. I know who did it! You do? And furthermore, I'm going to tell you how it was all done after intermission. Just mind the lobby. to use their pseudonyms. And then I told her that I was the butler, and I ran across the hall to the library, and Yvette was here, and she poured you a drink, and smiled, and then the doorbell rang.
Ding dong!
And it was Mrs. White!
I'm right here.
Looking pale and tragic, and I made off, and I introduced you to Colonel Mustard. Hello, and then I noticed that Yvette and Mrs. White flinched. Then there was a rumble of thunder and a crash of lightning. Anyway, to make a long story short, one by one you all arrived, and then the gong struck with the cook. We all went into the dining room. Oh my God. Mrs. Peacock sat here, Professor Plum sat here, Mrs. White sat here, Mr. Green sat here, Mrs. Scarlet sat here, Colonel Mustard sat here, and the seat was vacant. Anyway, we all felt that we received a letter, and you did a letter, and you did a letter, and you did a letter. The point is blackmail!
Yes, but all this came out after dinner in the study.
You're right! Mr. Green sat here, Mrs. Peacock sat here, and Miss Scarlet sat here, and Professor Plum sat here, and Colonel Mustard stood here, and Mrs. White sat in this chair. I'm getting there. Then Mr. Body went into the hall to get his surprise packages. You all opened your presents, and then Mr. Body turned out the lights. Mr. Body had been lying on the floor, apparently dead.
He was, I examined him.
Then why was he bashed in the head a few moments later with a candlestick if he was dead already?
Right, I made a mistake.
But if Mr. Body was pretending to be dead, there could only be one reason. It could only be because he realized that his scheme had misfired.
That's bad.
Wow! Stay with me! And then a bullet grazed his ear. Look! Clearly the best way of escaping death was to pretend to be dead already.
So whoever grabbed the gun from me in the dark was trying to kill him.
But remember what happened next? Mrs. Peacock took a drink. You said maybe it's poison. She screamed. I had to stop her from screaming. Then, more screaming. Yvette, the billiard room. We all rushed out. But one of us wasn't here. No. Maybe one of us was murdering the cook. But who wasn't with us?
Do you know?
I do. While we stood here, trying to stop Yvette from panicking, one of us could have picked up the dagger, ran down the hall to the kitchen. And stabbed the cook.
Oh, how can he risk it? We might have seen him running back.
Not that the murderer used this secret passageway at the back of the freezer, and then the murderer ran down the secret passageway to the study.
Is that where it comes out?
Yes! Look!
How did you know?
Are you the murderer?
Don't be ridiculous. If I was the murderer, why would I tell you how I did it?
But what I don't understand is why was the cook murdered? She had nothing to do with Mr. Body.
Of course she did. Everybody who was here tonight was implicated in Mr. Body's dastardly blackmail. Did none of you do so? The others are involved as well.
What others?
The cook and Yvette. No. Mr. Body had to get his information. He needed to find out someone's guilty secret, so Yvette and the cook were his accomplices.
I got it! Okay. So, whoever knew that the cook was involved, murdered her.
Yes.
Yes, I told you I was gonna get one right, didn't I tell you?
I know because I'm a butler, and the cook worked for one of you. Who? Who indeed? You knew Yvette, didn't you? Don't deny it.
What do you mean, don't deny it? I'm not denying anything.
Another denial.
Yes, I knew that. My husband had an affair with her, but I didn't care. I wasn't jealous.
You knew her too, didn't you?
Yes, she worked for me.
And you knew her, sir. We've already established that you were one of Miss Scarlet's clients. That's why you were so desperate to get your hands on those negatives. Photographs of you and Yvette in flagrante delicto, remember?
Oh, stop! Look, Mr. Body was trying to threaten me by sending those pictures to my poor dear mummy.
Well, that would have been quite a trick, considering you told us she was dead already. So, he had the motive.
Oh, well, you all had a motive.
Well, when and where was Mr. Body killed?
When I said, listen, when we got back to the study with Yvette, Mr. murderer, not stronger, between the rest of us in the kitchen beside the cook's body. It took less than half a minute.
Well, who wasn't in the kitchen the entire time?
Whoever it was is the murderer. Then the doorbell rang.
Ding dong!
It was the motorist. We locked the motorist into the lounge and I put the key into my pocket. But one of you could have taken the key out of my pocket and substituted it for another.
We were all in a huddle. Any one of us could have done that.
Precisely.
Wait a minute. Colonel Mustard has a top secret government job. Mrs. White's husband was a climate change scientist, and Yvette was the link between them.
What is your top secret job, Colonel?
I can tell you. He's working on the secret of a new weapon of mass destruction.
How did you know that?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes.
So can I.
Is this a plot between them, Wadsworth, or did Colonel Mustard do it alone?
But we shall see. Let's look at the other murders.
Yes, bad luck that that motorist arrived at that moment.
It wasn't luck. I invited him.
You
did? Of course! Everybody who was here tonight was either one of Mr. Bobby's victims or accomplices. And everyone who died gave invited information about one of you. I got them here so that they would give you information against Mr. Bobby and force him to confess.
Oh yeah, well what about that motorist? What kind of information did he have?
He was my driver.
And what was he holding over you?
He found out that I was a war profiteer. I used to be the liaison between Boeing and the DOD. They make most of our missiles. I used to make sure a few missiles went missing on each shipment. Sold them on the black market. That's how I made all my money. But that does not make me a murderer!
Well, a lot of our soldiers died because of the American missiles that went to the other side. Was the policeman working for Mr. Body too?
The cop was from Clayton. He was on my payroll. I bribed him once a week so I could carry on with business, and Mr. Body found out about that too.
Oh my God.
Oh.
And the singing telegram girl?
She was my patient once and we had an affair. That's how I lost my license. And Mr. Body found out about that too.
Well, let's put the Bobby in the study with the others. Well, now you know how they all died. Hey, Damity, you're a dead body. Well, now you know how they all died. Whoever wanted Mr. Body dead also wanted his accomplices dead.
How did the murderer know about them all? I mean, I admit I had guessed that this young secret had informed on me to Mr. Body, but I didn't know anything about any of you until this evening.
But first, the murderer needed to get their hands on the weapons. Easy, they were right here on the bar card.
Oh, why didn't we lock them up?
We couldn't afford another set piece.
Then we followed Colonel Mustard's suggestion that we split up and set to the house.
That's right! It was Colonel Mustard's suggestion.
And one of us was away from his or her partner, ran in the study, picked up the wrench.
And then we found that secret passageway from the conservatory to the lounge, where we found that motorist dead.
But we couldn't get in. So, and back to the billiard, or back to the study, she picked up the revolver, she shot the door open, and then bang! And then the doorbell rang.
Whoever it is, they gotta go away or else they'll be killed!
Hey, have you all ever given any thought to the kingdom of heaven?
What?
Repent! The kingdom of heaven is at hand!
Hey, just whistling, Dixie.
Armageddon is upon us!
I got news for you, it's already here.
Go away!
Your souls are in danger!
Our lives are in danger, you bandit!
Then we locked the cop into the lounge, and I put the key into my pocket. And then, when we split again to search the house, someone switched off the electricity.
bit too late for that. I hate it when he does that.
Then there were 3 more murders.
So which of us killed them?
None of us killed Mr. Body or the cook.
Then who did?
The person who wasn't with us. Yvette. She was in the billiard room listening to our entire conversation. She heard the gunshot. She thought he was dead. So she crept into the study. She picked up the dagger. She picked up the dagger. She ran down the hall to the kitchen. And she stabbed the cook. We didn't hear the cook scream because Mrs. Peacock was screaming about poison brandy. Then Yvette went back to the billiard room. She screamed, and we all ran to her.
Well, when did she kill Mr. Body?
When I said, we all went to the kitchen to check on the cook, and Yvette crept into the study to make sure that Mr. Body was still dead. Then Mr. Body jumped up and followed us out into the hall, and Yvette crept up behind him, and she killed him with the candlestick. And then she threw him into the toilet. Kristen Strom.
But why?
To create confusion.
It worked.
But why did she kill them?
Was she working under orders from the person who later killed her?
Who?
Was it one of her clients? Or a jealous wife? Or an adulterous doctor? No! It was her employer, Miss Scarlett!
That's a lie!
Is it? You used Yvette the way you always used her, and you killed the motive when we weren't looking.
How could I have known about the secret passage?
Easy! Yvette killed you. So, we split him again to search the house. You ran downstairs and you switched off the electricity. And then you ran downstairs to the study and you picked up the rope and the lead pipe. And then you ran to the billiard room and you strangled Yvette. And then you ran to the library and you killed the cop. And then you picked up the gun from where Yvette dropped it, opened the front door, recognized the girl from a photograph, and you shot her.
You've no proof?
The gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the missing gun is the murderer.
Brilliantly worked out, Wadsworth. I congratulate you. Shut up!
Okay, now there's one thing I don't understand. Why did you do it? Half of St. Louis knows what kind of business you run. You were in no real danger. The whole town would be implicated if you were exposed.
I don't think they know my real business. My business is secrets. Yvette found them out for me. The secrets of Senator Peacock's election committee, of Colonel Mustard's new weapon, Professor Plum's Department of Health contacts, and the work of your husband, the climate change scientist.
It's real.
So it is political. You're a Trump informant.
No, Mr. Green. Trump was only a red herring. Like all members of the oldest profession, I'm a capitalist. And I'm going to sell my secrets, well, your secrets, to the highest bidder.
And what if we don't cooperate?
You will, or I'll expose you.
We could expose you. 6 murders.
I hardly think it will enhance your reputation at the insurance company, Professor Plum, if it's revealed that you are implicated not only in adultery with one of your patients, but in her death, and the death of 5 other people.
You don't know what kind of people they have at insurance companies. I might go up in their estimation.
Well, there's no point in blackmailing me, madam. I have no more money.
I know, sweetie pie. You need to pay me in government information. All of you. Well, except you, Wadsworth. I have no access to government secrets, so I'm afraid your time has come.
Not so fast, Scarlett. I do have a secret or two.
Yeah, such as...
The game's up, Scarlett. There are no more bullets left in that gun.
Come on. God, you were even a fall for that old trick.
Oh, so the trick. There was one shot of Mr. Body in the study, 2 in the bedroom in the hall, 2 at the lounge door, and 1 at the singing telegram girl.
That's not 6.
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
There was only one ball in that trick. That's 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
No, you're getting all right, darling. There'd be 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1, not 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. So we started Mr. Body, right? So we shot him first. There was 1 bullet. And then a bed in the hall, there was 2. And then 2 at the lounge door, that makes up 5. And then 1 at the...
Point is, there is 1 bullet left in this gun, and guess who's going to get it? What? No!
done. I did warn you, my dear. The Department of Justice is an expert at Armageddon.
Wadsworth, don't hate me for trying to shoot you.
Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. And like I told you before, darling, there are no more bullets left in this gun, you see? Ow! Oh. 1 + 2 + 1 + 2.
All right, Wadsworth. What's your accusation?
I accuse Miss Scarlett in the hall with the revolver. Wrong.
What? Miss Scarlett's not the murderer.
Yes, I am!
Okay, wait, everybody, we just have to go back to what I told you.
Wait. Why are we doing it over? Don't we just lose?
Oh, yeah, it's part of the season of rituals.
Then what are rituals here?
Rolling the dice, blowing up numbers.
In the dark, the murderer ran across the hall to the study, picked up a rope and the lead pipe, ran to the billiard room and strangled to death. Then the murderer ran to the library and killed the cop with the lead pipe. Then, coming out of the library, the doorbell rang. It was the singing telegram girl. The murderer ran to pick up the gun from where they dropped it, opened the front door, recognized the girl from her photograph, then shot her, and then ran back to Professor Plum. Isn't that right, Mrs. Peacock? Peacock!
So,
You murdered them all. You were the one who was missing when the cook and Mr. Body were murdered. And don't you remember your fatal mistake? At dinner you told us that you were eating one of your favorite recipes. And monkey brains, so popular in Cassidy's cuisine, are not often to be found in St. Louis.
Is that what we ate?
why would I have murdered all of the others?
Obviously, in case Mr. Body told them about you.
So this has nothing to do with the disappearing climate change scientists and Colonel Mustard's work on the new weapon of mass destruction?
No! Trump was just a red herring. Mrs. Peacock did it all.
There's no proof.
The gun is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the missing gun is the murderer.
Still don't have it. So that one is all.
Well, that's fine. What do you propose to do about it?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing at all. I don't approve of murder, but I do think you've done the world a great service by ridding it of a horrible blackmailer and his disgusting informers.
But the police will be here any minute. What happens then?
Why should the police come? Nobody's called them.
You mean?
So I suggest that we stack the bodies in the cellar, lock it, leave quietly one by one, and pretend that none of this ever happened.
Great idea! I'll eat first, if you don't mind.
You're my guest.
Plum, stop! Go get me a popsicle! Just the way I like it.
I think we all know him without offense, don't you? For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow.
I told you I didn't do it.
What if the authorities find out what happened?
Oh, the Department of Justice will take care of that.
You mean?
My phone call from earlier. I work for them. How else do you think I know everything about you?
But there's still one thing I don't understand.
One thing.
Who was Mrs. Peacock taking bribes from?
Oh, a foreign power. Her husband, a senator, has influence over voting machines.
Is this going to be a cover-up?
Is that in the public interest? What could be gained by exposure?
No. This biddy is not the murderer.
Okay! Just once more with feeling!
What happened at ritual?
Each murder one by one, shall we? Professor Plum, you knew that Mr. Body was still alive. Even psychiatrists can tell the difference between patients who are dead and alive. You finally get him in the dark and mist, and that's how you're able to kill him later, unobserved.
I don't know about that, but Colonel Mustard's flies open.
Oh?
No, it's true. He was the one missing from the kitchen when we found the cook dead.
But he was with us in the billiard room when we heard Yvette screaming. If that's when the cook was killed, how did he do it?
I didn't!
Oh, you don't expect us to believe that, do you?
I expect you to believe that because you killed the cook! And the cook used to be your cook! Don't you remember your fatal mistake? At dinner, you told us that you were eating one of your favorite recipes, and monkey brains, though popular in Cassidy's cuisine, are not often to be found in St. Louis!
Well, that's fine.
Colonel Mustard, when we saw the notice at the front door, you suggested that the security search the house. So you paid for the rent, you separated from his Scarlet, you ran to the conservatory, and you entered the lounge through the secret passageway with a blow to the head like that!
Incredible.
And then, not as incredible as what happened next. After we all split up again, I went back to the dining room. It was you, Mrs. White. Yes, you, Mrs. White. While I was searching for your evidence, you ran downstairs, you switched off the electricity, and then you strangled Yvette. You were jealous of Yvette forsook your husband, and that's why you killed him, too.
Yes. Yes, I do. I killed her. I hated her so much. And it flamed on the sides of my face, breathing, heaving, hovering.
While you were in the billiard room, Miss Scarlet, you seized the opportunity and under the cover of darkness, you ran to the study, you picked up the lead pipe, and you killed the cop whom she'd been bribing. True or false?
True? God, who are you, Jessica Fletcher?
So, it must have been Mr. Green that killed the singing telegram.
I didn't do it!
Well, there's nobody else left.
But I didn't do it! The gun is missing! Whoever's got the gun shot the girl!
I shot her.
You? I knew it was you! I was going to expose you!
I know. So I chose to expose myself.
That's indecent.
You all thought that Mr. Body was dead. But why? None of you met him until tonight.
You're Mr. Body!
Wait. Who did I kill?
My butler! He was expendable, like all of you. I'm so very grateful to you all for disposing of my network of spies and informers. Saved me a lot of trouble. Now there's no evidence left against me.
So this has nothing to do with my disappearing planetary scientist husband or Colonel Mustard's weapons of mass destruction.
No! Trump was just a red herring.
But the police will be here any minute. You'll never get away with this.
Why should the police come? Nobody's called them.
You mean, oh my God, of course!
So I suggest that we stack the bodies in the cellar, lock it, leave quietly one by one, and pretend that none of this ever happened.
And you'll just go on blackmailing us all.
Of course. Why not?
Well, I'll tell you why not!
Good shot, Green. Oh, very good shot. Oh my! Coming home, Mama! Wait, I just want to give a see if you're all my heart!
Thank God.
Are you a cop?
No, I'm a plant. I work for the Department of Justice. That phone call was for me. I told you I didn't do it!
Oh, right. Who done it? Oh, well, she doesn't.
But if you want to know who killed Mr. Body, I did. In the hall with the revolver.
I really hope you're right, because I gotta get home and make vegan pizzas for the cast party. Ain't that right, Carl? Mr. Green in the hole with the revolver.
Take him away, Chief. I'm going to go home and sleep with my husband.